Hello friends, welcome back to Professional Pathshala. This lecture is an extension of the previous one where we started with the questionnaire design. So this one is the questionnaire design part 2. Just a brief recap of the things which we did in the previous lecture where we understood that how a questionnaire can be designed and what are the various steps which are important to decide that you need to start with the questionnaire. It is very important to understand that why we need a questionnaire. So the basic motive of having a questionnaire is to collect data from the people in which we are really interested to collect our data. It clearly indicates that we want to have a data about the characteristics of the people, how they think, what they think, if there's a change in their thinking process, thought process, why it is that. So whatever the objective we have, we design our questionnaire accordingly. So of course it would be some written statements which are pre-decided and which are well thought of out of the mind of a researcher. Now in the second part we will decide that, as we have gone through with the previous lecture as well, that where we have gone through the questionnaire design, that was a part 1. So in this case here we will decide, because this is a part where we are actually designing a questionnaire, so we will decide regarding the sequencing of a questionnaire. So as it is clearly mentioned that, because as we can see in this diagram, that sequencing plays a key role while you go with the questionnaire. So a logical sequencing is very important in this. So as you can see that first of all should be screening questions, then opening question, then transition statements, then difficult to answer questions, then identification and categorization question, and logical order of questioning. Just in a brief manner we'll do all these things, that because while you design a questionnaire, so how you take decisions, so this should be kept in mind always. So for everyone who is going to design a questionnaire, you have to keep these things in your mind. So there will be 6 stages or the 6 sequences. If you just keep them in order, so your questionnaire will be good. So it will fetch you the details in which really you are interested in. So screening question means a researcher they generally begin with some screening questions. So in some cases you are very sure that the qualification status of the people, right? So you will start with the same opening question. For example, I must say that the screening question is for you are interested in people who are graduates. Means you want to check that, okay, what are their perception that after doing graduation they'll get a job or not. So who will be your real respondents? Of course they will be the people who are at least graduate. So your screening question would be, are you a graduate? If yes, then it is fine. If they are not, so then you may skip to the another respondent. So a screening question means that it is something that if you're qualified for this, if a person to whom you're asking the question, is he really qualified for it or not? So a screening question ensures this, right? So where you're very sure that yes, this person is okay, that I'm going to collect data from the person. So now comes with the opening question. So the opening question is always that builds up the mind of the person from whom you're asking the question. So it should be like you need to create a good impact on the mind of the person, right? So it should not seek some in-depth information, means it should talk about in general something, and it should not talk something about technical. So it should be very relevant to the topic and should be non-technical only. For example, just see that if your sales of a company microwave ovens for a company is decreasing, so how the company will ask question to the people, they'll ask, are microwave ovens increasingly occupying Indian kitchens? This is something a tech which they are following, or there's a, you can say that a very smart way of asking a question. So qualifying question, opening question, then the transition statements. You are shifting from one part to another, right? The moment of course set of questions from one to another requires transition statement. For example, a company sees that the bottled water, we might have seen Aquafina, Kinley and all, right? So they see that there is an increase that people, because right now people are very hygienic, people they care for whatever they're drinking, the water, so they are very much concerned about it. So they always think about that whatever they are having, and they used to consume it in a very large volume. So the company who is into the bottled water business, so they see that yes, there is an increase in their business. So what they see, basically they see a potential future market, right? And they are interested to conduct a survey, or they conducted a survey, right? So what we feel that what they will do initially, they'll start with awareness. They'll say, are you aware about the bottled water's benefit? Okay, if they see that yes they are, so what taste you want to have it in it, right? So these things means, in the first thing what it will do, it will ask something questions which create awareness or which are related to awareness, and next set of question they may or may not be related to some other things. So transition statements, right? So the first one is related to something else and the second one is really indifferent from the first one, so we call them as transition statements. The next is the difficult to answer questions, right? So difficult to answer questions or complicated questions should be placed in the later stage of the questionnaire. You cannot start it initially with the difficult questions, because it will create confusions in the mind of the respondents. So asking difficult question first in telephonic interview, because data collection involves so many techniques. So you may have it in some other ways as well, but yes, if you are conducting a telephonic interview and you're asking person very difficult questions, so I'm afraid that he won't be able to give you answers in a very correct manner. So we need to take care of all these things. And identification and categorization questions, so they need to generate some of the basic information about the respondents, right? Sometimes we ask people that they should give just their basic information, for example their age, their gender, their income, and we never ask about names, because people sometimes they care about their privacy and they won't reveal it out. So there is no need, until and unless it is very important, we need not to gather the information like their names or some of the personal information which they don't want to reveal, and we should never pressurize the respondent for that, because it's against the ethics. So we always tend to keep the information because it's sensitive, of course, and because the person who's giving out his or her information to you, he is trusting you or she is trusting you very much, so you need to be very careful about it. So once I talk about all these things, so these are the things which are very much important. And then logical sequencing, right? So in logical sequence, everything should be like asking general question first and then specific question. So if we call it, would be a funnel type of structure. So what we have done in this specific lecture, we started with this screening questions, right? Opening questions, transition statements, right? Difficult to answer question, identification, and logical order of question. Means a funnel type of things. A funnel approach should be followed, where first of all the question which are very general should be adopted, and then very specific question and difficult question can be asked to the respondents, right? Then response choice, the fourth step, right? This was the fourth step. So it is important for all of us to understand that too many response choices will burden the respondent, right? So few response choices will not be able to cover the all ranges. So as a general rule, researcher present a question with 5 to 7 response alternatives. Now what kind of responses the people will give you out? So if you ask them, okay, are you agree that the sales of electric cars is increasing in India? So you are giving them different statements and they need to answer one, so that won't make any sense. Give them 5 or 7 options through which they need to select, so that would make a sense, right? So it means response, what kind of response your customer or sorry your respondent will be having with him or with her. Decision regarding questionnaire layout, so how questionnaire would look like. So it is important, because if you're mailing it to someone, so it should look like that it is professional, it is asking for some information which is not too much sensitive, but yes, can be used in a research work, and that would be contribution from the side of a respondent. So sometimes what happens that as a respondent, it might have happened with you as well, that while you are answering something, and what happens initially, the person who asks a question, you just give responses to the questions at the top, and the questions which are at the bottom, you leave it and you answer it in a very random way. So you need to take care of all these things, that this should not happen. So while designing a questionnaire, it should be like that, it should be a balanced one. So if general questions are at first, then specific questions are following the general questions, and then at the end there are very difficult questions. So the layout of the questionnaire should be very professional, so that the respondents should be at ease. So this was regarding the questionnaire layout. But once you talk about the first draft of the questionnaire, means when everything is ready, your sequencing is fine, your statements are good, you have gone through each and every question, construct is fine, factors are already been selected, so you can create a first draft of the questionnaire. So printing it, right? So that may feel that yes, whatever the kind of prints you have for the questionnaire, it determines that what would be the quality, because something which looks good, of course the people they judge that its quality would be fine always. So printing should be fine, means that's very minute thing which we need to take care of, but yes it matters a lot. So there should not be any errors, so printing mistakes should not be there, right? The quality of paper also matters a lot. So something which should be professional, it makes up all these things, right? So we'll take the next step, that is the post construction phase, right? So it is a post construction phase, right? It is having the 4 steps. Means see, we have pre questionnaire phase, means before designing a questionnaire, while designing a questionnaire, and this one is a post construction. So it is having 4 steps, right? Pre-testing. So pre-testing means giving your questionnaire to a very small set of respondents or small population, small people, so that they small you can say that set of people, so that they should be able to judge that what are the errors are there. So it may be a time consuming process, right? But it is important because it helps you to reduce some of the flaws. So pre-testing is important. So there are so many protocols which you need to follow for it. Then revisiting the questionnaire based on inputs obtained from pre-testing. So now changing the questionnaire, means if there is some error into it, so you can make certain changes on the basis of the pre-testing. So whatever the results would be given, or whatever the you can say that whatever the changes the people they ask you to do, so you need to take care of it. And then the final draft of the questionnaire. So at this stage your final draft of the questionnaire should be ready and all mistakes should be eliminated. So after examination of incorporations from pre-testing, the researcher is now ready to have a final draft of the questionnaire and administer to the sample taken from a target population. So this is all about your the lecture which deals with, we have finished up in the 2 lectures, that is your questionnaire design. So questionnaire is very important in social sciences because this is the only phase where you collect data and where you have a one-to-one interaction or point-to-point interaction with the people in which you are interested to have their data at first, right? So we may say that yes, questionnaire design holds importance in research every time. So we'll keep it till here, right? So for the next topic we will select, we'll meet in the next lecture. So till then, bye bye and have a great time.